Now, the Solomon Islands Prime Minister says foreign powers are responsible for encouraging unrest in a South Pacific nation. A protest that began this week have descended into widespread violence. And on Wednesday, about 1,000 people besieged Parliament as they tried to oust Manasseh Sogavare. The Prime Minister has called on Australia for help. For more on that, let's go live to our correspondent Greg Navarro in Sydney. Greg, hello there. First of all, would you please brief us the latest situation in the Solomon Islands?
Well, Dunning, we've received reports within the last hour and a half to 2 hours that the Solomon Island Police Force in the capital city have been firing tear gas as well as bullets into the air. They're trying to prevent protesters from storming the country's prime minister's private residence there. As violent protests, as you mentioned, have entered a third day in the capital city of Hungary. They've torched public and private buildings, a number of buildings in that city, including a police station, as well as widespread rioting. As you mentioned, this began 3 days ago with about 1,000 protesters in the capital city. They were calling and have been calling for the country's Prime Minister, Manasseh Sogavare, to resign, and they are unhappy about a number of domestic issues. It's really quite a complex situation, but in essence they feel like they have been ignored and not been fairly treated by the government. There are issues of ethnic tensions, poverty, lack of infrastructure. There's also some lingering bad feelings about the country making the switch of allegiance from Taiwan to China in 2019. In fact, we're getting reports that there are buildings in the capital city, Chinatown, that have also been torched as a result of all of this. Dunning?
Right, and the Prime Minister of Solomon Islands has asked Australia for help. What's been the response?
Well, that's right. Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, held a news conference yesterday explaining that he had received that call of help from the Solomon Islands Prime Minister. He has responded because he said it's his duty and part of the relationship of those countries in the Pacific. He said to treat them like family. As a result, Australia sent 23 Australian Defence Force personnel as well as Australian Federal Police members yesterday. That included a specialist police squad. Another 40 are on their way today, as well as a naval ship. Now, Scott Morrison was very clear about their role there. He said they are there as peacekeepers simply for security and stability. They will not get involved with the internal troublings, the internal workings of what's happening in the capital city there. Now, he also mentioned that they will be there for weeks, giving some indication that this is not something that's going to end anytime soon. We're also receiving reports that Papua New Guinea has also deployed 34 peacekeeping troops to the capital city there as well in an effort to help try to contain and quell some of that unrest. Dunning?
Thank you very much, Greg Navarro, reporting from Sydney.